Aunt Patty's on the square. Park County's oldest antique mall, with 22 years on the southeast corner of the square. We have 25 dealers who take great pride in stocking and maintaining their booths. In 7,500 square feet, you can find almost everything from the smallest penknife to great jewelry, vintage coins, sports cards, dishes like Grandma had, all the way to a large piece of furniture. We're open 7 days a week. Our hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday, noon to 5.
Welcome everybody to our monthly meeting. Please join me in reciting Pledge Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You have your meeting minutes in front of you. Please take a moment to... Oh, wait a minute. You want to do the other thing first, right?
Oh, yes. We are...
Sorry, take that back. We need to have a hearing about additional appropriations for
ARP money.
For the ARP fund. Is it just this one?
Yeah, it's just those two appropriations right there. That's all we've appropriated so far. You usually don't have to appropriate grant money, but as part of the ARP money, we have to do additional appropriations to spend that money. So
this is a notice to taxpayers of additional appropriations. Notice is hereby given to the taxpayers of the town of Rosedale, Park County, Indiana, that the proper legal officers will consider the following additional appropriations in excess of the budget for the current year at their regular meeting place at Rosedale Town Hall, 7 p.m. on the 14th day of June, 2022. The name of the fund is ARP Fund. The amount being appropriated is $5,000, and that's for personal services, and also an amount of $10,400 for supplies, meter reading, software, and laptop, and that has to do with the water utility. The total for that fund is $10,400. Taxpayers hearing at the meeting have the right to be heard. The additional appropriations, as finally made, will be deferred to the Department of Local Government Finance. The DLGF will make a written determination as to the sufficiency of funds to support the appropriations within 15 days of receipt of a certified copy of the action taken. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about this additional appropriation? Well, in that case, I need a motion to approve this additional appropriation.
I'll make a motion we approve the additional appropriations.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the additional appropriation that was just read. Is there anything under question? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
thank you, sir.
This concludes the hearing for the additional appropriation.
7:02.
Pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Took me longer to read it than did anything else. Now, take a few moments and look at your regular meeting minutes and your special meeting minutes, which says regular meeting on it. This should say special.
planned public hearing for the stormwater project tonight was actually canceled. So that wasn't, it was supposed to happen tonight, but that was canceled because we're going in the second round of that grant. So we pushed back.
I'm sure everybody's relieved to hear that.
I'm sure. Just doing my due diligence. Let's see, it shall be unlawful to keep goats, sheep, swine, or pigs versus residents. One person shall call the allowed stable. Shall be unlawful for any owner to fail to exercise proper care and control of his or her dog or dogs. As to prevent the following actions. You know what? This, I think we got something on this one.
Now we need to talk with the
The
law
marshal.
enforcement officials
Okay.
about that.
You guys are the law enforcement officials. While they're reading, doing this minute thing.
Oh gosh, we gotta read.
No, I think one minute. So this is.
Is there associated pictures?
Surely one of the two of you can read.
Yeah, we'll work it out between us.
I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting for May 10th.
Yeah.
And I'll second that as well.
I have
Okay.
a question about the special meeting from.
Just a second, come on. Got a motion on the floor here. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the last regular meeting. Question on that motion? Hearing none. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Motion carried. All right, Miss Brown.
Okay, well, on the
We can
special
document
meeting,
that I went down there a couple times.
It says-
Been down there times too.
council discussed several options,
Because
but all
we
agreed
can't-
the route should go down Main Street.
It's like a pitch of
I don't think
You can't use
when I
one
said that at the end, I
Well-
was questioned about that.
multiple times.
I don't know which part of that it is.
So
Okay,
without
I mean,
ever
that's pretty
doing
vague.
this, what is our
Which side of Main Street?
Well,
This is not, this,
he also said that we would be holding off until we knew more about their plans anyway, so.
Okay,
yeah, this is not anything etched in stone here. It's just
Yeah.
saying what we discussed.
No, that's just what I was just. I wrote that in about 5 minutes. I forgot we had that meeting, and then I was like, "Oh, special meeting minutes," and that's the stuff that remembered and stood out to me.
There,
There was no decisions made. We didn't take a motion or anything at that meeting.
no. Wasn't any
no,
action
I
taken.
just remember getting yelled at.
Keep it up.
There are a couple of corrections that
More to
need to be made on this
Okay.
minutes.
There is a lot of.
Board member McGlynn was not present,
Okay. Yeah.
True.
and at the top it should say special meeting, not regular meeting.
Oh, did I say regular meeting?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
then.
just using the form that's in the computer.
I
know what you
did. Yeah, I just did a cut and paste there.
All right.
You got minutes over here you want me to sign?
I do. Did you approve them?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to solve the dog problem.
Did you second that? Regular meeting?
Carol, Cody. Is there a motion on the special meeting?
With corrections.
As with corrections as noted?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the special meeting with the corrections.
I'll second it.
Is that Carol again?
Mm-hmm.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the special meeting with corrections as noted. Is there anything else on our question? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Most, those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. this time we'll move around the meeting for public comments. Start over here, Nikki. Well, I know this guy's got something, so go ahead, Dale.
All right. I think half of you know who I am, Dale Mullinex. I'm moving back to town. Of course, my parents still live here. I lived here, born and raised. Went to Illinois for about 14 years. Coming back. So, right below the hill there, 2621 West, 1000 South. We're putting up a house. And, you know, back in the day, there was an old trailer there that my mom and dad took down and an old garage. And then they just kind of left their camper there and had some little things there. And so the old septic system that was there was good for what they were doing. But once we came and looked at it, it's got the old clay tile, lid broken, nasty. Our problem is that ground is pretty wet ground. So as I was talking to my excavating company, he was talking about the septic, our normal septic not really working too well the way it is. And he had done some work down there at the bottom of the hill a few years back. And we kind of started talking about, well, when we asked the town if at my cost, labor, materials, everything, if we could hook onto the town sewer system, helping you, paying the town monthly, but not costing the town anything to hook onto it. Other than doing I think what he called is a sand system, which is a big, extensive, bigger deal than a normal septic, where you got to bring in a bunch of sand and do all this because it's really wet. So that was kind of what we wanted to bring up to see what you guys thought about that.
Does everybody know where Dale's talking about? Yeah.
At the bottom of the West Hill.
Yeah.
Where Margaret Stitt's trailer was. That's exactly right.
There you go. Okay.
I don't see how it didn't sink all them years, but yeah, so.
Well, yeah, you had to go right by there 15 times when you was a kid.
Yeah. Riding the bike up,
Yeah,
down,
up
up,
and
down,
down
up,
the hill.
down.
Yeah.
But I think the trees and everything just hit it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, like I said, I'm not asking the town to pay to do anything. That would be all my cost, material, labor, everything to do, and the town just reap the monthly benefit of the sewer and water bill from us.
And what is the intent on where to hook into?
Right there past, what's their name?
Brewers.
Brewers. There's either my excavating company said there's a clean out or something right there where he had put something in years prior where he knows where it's at. And he said that we could hook on right there, just come through the right of way right by the road, coming out, angling out to my property to the road, and then coming down the road and hooking on right down there, right at their...
Hooking on to the main or hooking on to their line?
To the main.
To the main, okay.
There's 2 water lines in there. Does he know that?
2 water lines?
Yeah, 2 main lines.
Oh, 2 main lines.
Yeah, one coming from the tower, feeding the town, and one going out the so-called farmer's line.
Oh, that goes, yeah.
They're on the farmer's line, so they have water there.
Yeah,
already.
we have city water there.
Okay, but I'm just saying that those 2 lines are on that side of the road.
On the
In
south
the
side
right
of
of
the
way.
road.
Yes. And I don't have any idea how deep they are, but that could be a problem. Now, there is a manhole right there close to the city limit. It's down a little bit, and that's why I'm worried about this right-of-way thing. You'd have to go down the right-of-way or the middle of the street to hit this manhole. And I'm not real crazy about doing that middle of the street thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be more cost than.
Yeah, and putting it back would be
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
Is there sewer to Brewer's house?
Yes.
they have sewer, yes.
Okay.
The problem they was wanting to have before was that little trailer
Yeah.
that they had to move off a property they didn't own.
Right.
And we wouldn't allow that to happen because they weren't in the city limits,
Right.
Well,
basically.
that was part of it. The other part was because you can only have one residence on sewer and water. We have that ordinance. We did in 19 on that. So,
Yeah, they were wanting to hook into the other houses.
yeah, the other
Why?
house that they wanted to hook onto the house and for that outbuilding or trailer or whatever it is.
So, what's anybody's thought about what's Dale proposing here?
Dale, have you been given a cost on this?
Yeah, I've been given an estimate what it would cost to dig and the pipe to run into it.
Okay.
And that was going to be right around, I think he said right around $6,000 to do that. And
Did that include tapping the manhole?
not going in the road there, I guess, because he said there was a clean out or something that was right there as well, right beside. Like I said, I wasn't there, and he was talking a mile a minute about it, but acted like he knew exactly where it was and where he'd
Well,
put in, but
Have they done?
that manhole is the end of the line. So I don't know why there would need to be a clean out for it. Doesn't make sense.
Well, when he was in here, and he was just kind of throwing some
Yeah.
things out here when he was in here, I kept feeling like he was trying to tap onto the Brewers line. But I don't know that that's what he meant.
I don't think he didn't tell me that.
But that
I guess-
because I know that he was, I think that he installed what they had hooked up to that little trailer at one point in time.
Right.
And then when they moved it to the other side, there was a discussion and all that. But I wasn't following him completely.
Right.
And because I was thinking manhole, and I was, yeah, so.
That's what we're talking about. That red dot's the manhole there.
Did you say the guy had worked on the sewer line?
Yeah, he was the one that
He was the one that tapped the Brewers'
tapped in down there.
that added the line to the trailer for the Brewers.
I think we need to talk to him.
But
Yeah,
I'm sure he didn't.
Are you going to go across somebody
No,
else's?
he didn't tap into the manhole, and he didn't tap into the main. That's why
Yeah.
I know that. So
I know you're saying right away, but are you crossing property lines with it to get back to that manhole? Or is it pretty close to your property where you...
It would be down the side of the road. About,
The property would be that darker line.
I think we had about,
Yeah.
what, 350, 400
Okay.
feet
All right. I
down.
was just wondering.
Yeah, there's nobody between him and
That's
Yeah.
the next guy.
That's
That little,
yeah.
little trailer is.
that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
well, the trailer's empty.
Yeah.
There's no one in
There's
it.
a lot in that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
trailer's kind of by their house.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could have him call or come talk to you more about that as far as his plan. That way you would know exactly
There
what.
wouldn't be any pipe to tap, is what I'm saying, unless you went between manholes. And I'm a little sketchy on that. Now, the manhole is off to the side of the middle of the street. So tearing up part of the street wouldn't be a real big deal.
Right.
But there's an art to tapping those manholes. And I'm not sure your guy has the artistic ability of doing that. But that's what's going to happen. It's going to have to be tapped into the manhole. That's my opinion.
Right by at the side of the street there.
Yeah.
So it's not in the middle. It's actually
No, it's off to the side.
okay. I guess I need to
somewhat.
go
It's not
pay
right in the
attention.
middle.
Okay.
It's hard to tell on the map.
It's more towards the south side, huh?
It's just hard to tell on the maps where those things
Yeah,
are
this
going.
map don't tell you anything about that, but
Did we turn the rulers down because they weren't in the city limits?
We turned Brewers down because of our 2019 ordinance that says you can only supply water and sewer to a single resident per parcel.
Okay.
So because they were doing a second residence on the same parcel,
property.
the same property, that's why we turned them down. They already had lines run to it when it was on the side of Jackie Wakefield's house, and then when they had to move it to the other side because, you know, that whole shame on us first time that you guys sat it there and you weren't allowed to. We weren't going to let them keep it there when they moved it because they had to move it off our property. So then they moved it to the other side. We were like, well, now you're in violation of this ordinance. It says you can't do this. So you don't get to hook it up.
and this is to stop 2 or 3 tiny houses on one.
Yeah, that's why we did that ordinance, just in anticipation of that. And there's some variances in that ordinance if somebody wanted to build a duplex or a multi-unit, family unit type thing, but it was not, you know.
I'm not objectable to this if we can get a comfort level with the plan and make sure we're comfortable with what that guy's going to do and he knows what he's going to do. I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Can he
Well,
just,
that last manhole shouldn't really have anything in it. Nothing feeds it,
No.
you know. So
Who's
that
your
would
contractor?
Worley, Brian Worley.
that would be
Oh,
a
okay.
plus as far as tapping it.
Right.
And it may be such a thing that it could be tunneled under the road without disturbing the road to do it.
Like
Go from the
daylight.
manhole out, you know,
Right.
possibly. But those manholes do have some bells in them that's for that to knock out and to slide pipe into. Or at least most of them I've ever seen do. I don't think our system's that old that it wouldn't be like that. So,
Which I can have him write something up or type something up to send or come talk to somebody or to get more of an idea or tell him that's what has to be done is what you're saying. And
if everybody's in agreement with that, I mean, I think it should have to go into the manhole and directly from that. Now, if you want to put a clean out in the right of way between the manhole and your property, that'd be perfectly fine. That's probably not a bad idea. But there's no trees along there that cause
any
most of the problems are from trees.
Right. Yeah, and that's
Roots
all
getting in the-
clear
in the
right there,
system.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing there. And as long as we could locate the water lines, of course, like you said.
Well, there might have to be a lot of hand digging doing that.
Mhm.
It's not real deep. I don't think it's much over 3 foot. If it's even 3 foot.
And you said there's 2 lines
But
going through there now.
there's a 2-inch plastic, I believe it is, and a 6-inch ductile comes from the tower and feeds the tank.
Town.
Well, actually, there's also another one in there, I think.
That's a locate where we could use Alliance's help
Yeah,
on that because
the
they
pumps
have
down
the
here
software.
pump water to the water tower, and then it comes back out of the water tower to the town for the pressure. So I'm not sure how many's in there. There might be 3.
Yeah. It's a locate above our capacity a little bit. So
And the plastic one may not even be in there. Now, it seems to me like that was done away with when the new tower was put in. That wasn't coming from the town. It came from
Right.
the tower and went straight out.
Right.
And anybody that knows anything about it's not around anymore. Our guy that knew it all was Jerry Likely. He's not with us anymore.
Yeah. No, but that is something we can use Alliance for on a heavy locate like that. He came and did the boring locating for Jake, and he's available. We're a member of that organization for a reason, so.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah,
use-
we
use
pay
him
for
in.
that. We can use him for anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
You, how quickly are you doing this, Dale?
They're bringing materials tomorrow to start the
Foundation?
framing and all that. So
Are you building a house or setting one on there?
so it'll be on a slab. That's why we built it up. If you went by there lately.
Yeah, I went by to see where all those 5, 6 trucks went by my house, loaded with dirt was going.
There was
the
multiple.
Only place
Multiple.
at one time I saw 5 in a row go by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think, by the naked eye, you're like, oh, 5, 6 loads, we ought to be good.
Yeah.
No.
There's quite a drop off there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's deceiving. It's deceiving.
Yeah, your dad and I had a long conversation.
Oh my
about
gosh. Yeah, I definitely won't have water getting in the house now by any stretch.
I wouldn't think you should.
No. No.
it. Yeah.
So that part's covered.
I think I need to take a ride.
I hate to put you off until next month, but we can sit here now and say if everything works out, fine, but if it don't, then what happens,
Right.
So we can check on this locate part, and perhaps you may want to go down there and open that with the town guy, open the lid and look inside that manhole and see if there are knockout places
To get in,
it.
yeah.
Because if there is, that's what needs to be done.
And that's fine. I mean, I think, yeah, that way everybody can do their homework and everything else, and I think that's fine.
Jace usually works 7 to 3, so if somebody wants to come down and holler at him, he's pretty
Okay.
flex about going down and looking
All right,
at that.
take
I
a
don't know
look.
what your schedule's like, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could send Big Dale down, I guess you could do it.
Yeah, sorry, I may have to.
Big Dale? Older Dale?
I was just teasing him about his dad the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. I
Fine.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, let's leave it at that, and if we have to have a special meeting or something, we can do that. We'll just have to have 2 days' notice for the paper
Okay.
to do it. We need more info.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. That's great.
But I say if Brian wants to spec something out, maybe call John and talk to him about it.
Right.
That would
Get
be
more
good.
of a yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay.
Alright.
Back row, got any comments? All right. Let's go to old business.
You don't have to stay, Dale, unless you want
Does
to.
it? I gotta get back to Robinson, so
Yeah.
I want to be rude, but I'm gonna.
No, you don't have to
Well, you
stay.
pick up an hour when you cross the state line.
That is true. That is true. Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right.
See you guys later.
See ya.
Have a good evening.
I'll be back before that.
What's the latest on the community crossing?
Okay, so I had Brian Fleck revise the estimates for Main Street and remove the sidewalks from them, and he sent me two. He sent me 2 sets of pricing. There's some ADA compliance right now, and even if you're not doing sidewalks with your roads, they want you to do the ramps and all that kind of stuff. He said you don't have to do it, but it is more
That's what we did
favorable.
on the
Right.
last thing.
I know. I feel like all along the way with community crossings, you don't have to stripe your roads. Well, okay, things like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he sent me 2 sets of estimates. This is one without ramps, or this is with the ramps. I'll put the reading glasses back on because my eyeballs are hurting today. Okay, this is with the ramps for Main Street, and this is without the ramps. And then here's the originals. The Park Street pricing didn't change in any way, shape, or form. So
Four difference here.
Well, it has no
It adds up
sidewalks.
to 219.
yeah. But before we had it adding up to
My mom's house.
526.
About 600.
Yeah. So I took it out what I thought the sidewalks were, and I had it down pretty low too. So
That one, first one was with the ramp.
Yes.
yes, that's with the ramps. And then Park Street's another 28,000. I did.
Did we do a traffic study on Park Street?
Did we do one? Can we do one? I don't know. I think Park Street is heavily used when school's in session.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think that's yeah. I did send him a quick note today that I
Was
was
that
curious to
219?
know
219.
what Lowell's Lane would cost
Early 220
because it's miserable
219.90.
and it's really bad too.
So right around 220.
But he said he could get me some numbers, but he just couldn't get them to me this very moment. So, because we haven't really looked at the PAMP. I need to print it out in a little bit of a different format because it's really hard to read, but that is one of the worst trending roads, is Lowell's Lane as well.
Well, it would be more than Park Street because it's longer.
It would be longer, yeah. So, I mean, Park Street's 28. What did it say, 28 on there? So he did say in his email, let me pull it up really quick so I can remember his engineering talk. Okay. Reminder that NDOT specifies for community crossings, matching grants, existing ADA ramp work is required when doing a minimum of a mill and an overlay regardless of work type. So that's why we have the ramps option. And he said, please also note that unit prices likely will need to be adjusted up some more as well. I had estimated unit prices based on past cycles in the area, but as you know, the market is extremely volatile right now. A couple of our clients' 2022-1 projects are coming to bid in the next several weeks for locations such as Petersburg, so we should be able to get a better idea on unit prices as well. The unknown is where they're going to be when we bid these in December or so, and accordingly how much contingency to add. So. I mean, I drove, last week Andrea and I were working on a housing study for Partnership Park County, and so we drove pretty much every road in town, just specking out vacant houses and things like that, and Lowell's Lane by far is probably
The worst street.
one of the worst. I mean, it is really bad, but that Main Street area, I mean, it's just a no-brainer to work on Main Street too. So the rest of our roads, really, we've done so many. I mean, everything's holding and everything's really pretty nice. Jace did some patching. He patched that hole going into the subdivision and some other patching, so that's improved too.
Well, some of it, my house has gotten better because I don't hear the trailers quite as bad because he's filled up some of the holes. And people don't drive on the wrong side of the road as much now.
Right.
To get past the rough part. I don't understand why there's 9 concrete ramps on Park Street.
What?
I'm just saying what they got in that list there.
Why would there?
I don't know. You'd have one on each side going in.
Is
that
it
you'd have in
for
front
the
of Mitch
driveways?
Miller's. You'd have in front of the little gray house.
That's the only sidewalk there is.
Right, and then
The sidewalk is only over by Miller's,
right, but then there's sidewalk on the other side.
not by the gray house.
There's not by the gray house.
No.
Is there nothing around the corner by Bullington's house?
Nope.
Okay, well I don't know. I mean, we can clean that up. I don't know. I didn't count the ramps.
Well, it only added up to $2,500 on the bid.
Right.
but
I mean, yeah.
I just couldn't see 9 concrete ramps.
The only thing they would need would be just like in front of my house to go in my driveway. And that's just, I mean, that's not a ramp. That's just a little bit of blacktop.
Yeah, they just made it a little wider there.
Those are like the approaches for the.
Because the only place there is sidewalk is at Miller's, and it's basically covered up. There's nothing over there where Mr. Walser used to live.
Well, you would need the ramps
And nothing
there.
by Bollington's, and nothing in front of
Brad
McNeil's.
McNeil's. I don't know. I don't know. I can't
I
answer
do.
that question. So
What kind of match money are we looking at?
there's a total on that one. What's the total page on that say, Carol?
On the last.
On the
page
one
of
with
part?
ramps.
With ramps, I've got in.
What's the total page say?
I don't see where it says match money. Blind in one eye, can't see on the other. 54.
Let me see. Okay. So, yeah. So this
That'd
is
be
your
right.
total.
It'd be
Yeah,
right on
so
220. 25%
55,
match.
Yeah, 55,000 would be our match. 55,000 would be our match. That's just on Main Street, and then the Park Street one's separate. So.
Park Street was like 7,000.
Mhm. Yeah. So we can take. We have 30 in MBH restricted right now. That can go completely for that match. Because that's what that's for at this point, pretty much. We have edit money. We don't have a name on that. And there's almost $50,000 in there.
That was
On edit?
Yeah. There's 49,000. There's almost $50,000
Could be used for economic development.
Yes.
Dinner Street.
Yeah. So that's what we used edit money for on the big match we did in the beginning. So we could use that money. We can also use CCI or CCD, both of those categories. So, I mean, a $50,000, even a $60,000 match we can do. So, and we can still use ARP money for that too. We still have $45,000 worth of or almost $50,000 worth of untapped ARP money.
Well,
So,
we need a price on the Bowles Lane.
yeah. So, if you want me to have him price that, I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't lose Park Street.
Okay.
We lost it before. Don't lose it again.
Well, I don't think we lost it before. I think it was just kind of a miscommunication. So,
We lost it.
So how much?
Let's don't miscommunicate.
We don't have a price on Lowell's Lane, but you think it'd probably be around.
Probably twice as much as Park Street.
It would be at least twice as much as Park
Yeah.
Street.
So
Because it's
yeah.
close to
at least
20.
twice as long.
Yeah.
But it don't have any sidewalks, does it?
No,
No.
Not
No
that we know
sidewalks
of.
South End of town's not blessed with many sidewalks,
No.
No.
other than Main Street.
Okay. So
And
I'll
it
have
stops
him.
at
Yeah.
my house before it
Yeah.
gets to my house.
Well, this application has to go in July 1st. So it's due in July. So I'll have him price out Lowell's Lane, and then may just have to do some calling to you guys to see what you want to do.
Well, I would just as soon, if we're doing it, do the ramps.
Yes.
Right.
I would do the ramps
Yeah.
as well.
And they're not going to get any less expensive.
No,
to do
and-
this, so.
Yeah.
It'd be a whole lot better for
Right.
any of us people can't walk worth a damn like me and him.
Yeah. I think it's, the ramps for sure.
Okay,
So the trash.
so that would be
The trash truck.
Around.
Over them and break them.
55,000 for the match on that.
Yeah, including Park Street.
No,
No.
No,
and
including
the
Park
7
Street.
would be 7,000 match on Park Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd make it 62, approximately $63,000.
Yeah.
And then
And we
probably
would still have money left, maybe, for Lowell's Lane.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on high end, I mean, you're
Yeah.
probably looking just under 90 or right at for everything, I would assume.
Yeah, maybe so.
Nice
So-
might be more than we can handle, but yeah.
Well, if we could get 20, maybe.
Yeah.
If
We'll
it
just
was
have to see.
80,000, we did 20. It'd be pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that might be approximately what it is, since there's no sidewalks or anything they'd have to do.
Right. It seems like it's a narrow road to me. It just doesn't seem like a full road.
McNeil's.
Is that? Am I wrong?
Maybe that's why it's called Lane.
Is it? Am I wrong?
Lowell's Lane. Oh, wait a minute. The guy's name was Lowell Lane.
No, I'm serious. Does it seem like it's a full 2-lane road?
You can't pass very easily on it.
No, it's a very narrow road.
You're off in the fields.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll message Brian tomorrow.
Okay. Did we get the mosquito spray in?
The flushing chemical's on the way. So.
Oh. Okay.
We had that was just a cleaning solution. We have spray.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's it.
Sit in your driveway.
Anybody have any old business they want to discuss?
I went with IN.gov. I have a team meeting with them on the 28th at 2 p.m. And she'll give me all the quotes and everything about setting up our email and getting us on board.
Oh, on that program?
Yeah.
The 28th of this month, you have a
28th
meeting.
of this month,
Okay.
2 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be a team meeting.
Like a Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was out, and then I was out, so it took us a little bit to get connected, but I got a hold of her yesterday.
Good.
And I went to the Park County Commissioners, I'm guessing that's what they're called, whatever they were up there in Rosedale.
Was there 3 of them? Or was there 8 of them?
Nah, there was only like 5. I know that's in the middle of everything you just asked, but that's about all that was there. Vicky used to be on it.
Who?
Vicky.
Vicky who?
Whitesell.
Thank you. I can't think of names.
Vicky Whitesell.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the trustees.
That's the
Is that the trustees?
board. Yeah.
I don't remember you being at the council
Anyway.
or the commissioners meeting.
Might have been.
That's the trustees board. Vicky's on it.
Okay. So
She's
maybe
on
it
the
was-
advisory board, yes.
Maybe it was the councilman. Anyway, I talked to him about the signs for like the entrance to Welcome to, Rosedale Southern
yeah.
Gateway.
Okay.
And they just pushed that back on us.
Of course.
They said they'd donate it. I just have to do all the research and everything.
You went to a Park County Council meeting?
Yeah, it's up there
Was
at
it the emergency management office?
Yeah. No, they have it down by the IGA in a building down there. That's where they meet at now.
CBC?
That's it.
Oh, was it the CBC meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
The
Development
Convention and
Too many
Visitors Bureau.
visitors.
Convention.
Too many of them guys.
Oh,
Innkeeper's
okay, that
guys.
was, yeah.
Then
Okay.
they said they'd donate to it or whatever if we wanted to pursue it.
You talking about the flag things?
The signs for the town, or not the town, but the county line. I kind of wanted it at the head of the trail. Welcome to
okay.
Southern Park County,
Oh,
and then
okay.
list Rosedale and everything we did. And,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we used to have a sign down there. It was Welcome to Rosedale sign. It's since
Well, you have
disappeared.
to ask Billy, honey, if he'd let you put it up.
Well, I thought if we got it on the head of the trail coming in,
Yeah. 'cause
We'd
Trail's
already
gonna
have
come in
control
on
of
the
it.
county line, so.
you know what I mean, then
Yeah.
we wouldn't have to ask a whole lot. But when I went to them with it, then they shoved all the legwork back on me. So.
Okay.
And then I didn't make that special meeting to talk to him, so I'm still working on that. But that was under the old stuff.
All right.
That's it.
Tornado siren still waiting on White Christian?
Yes, I am. I'll call him again tomorrow. The kid in the office was really confused. and
Well-
I just told him I wanted Phil, because I like Phil.
Should we call
Well, you know it's
somebody
been bought
else?
out.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think Brent Smith still is running it.
Yeah, and that's who I wanted to talk to, but he wasn't in. So I'll call Phil tomorrow.
Can we try somebody else maybe? Or we can get here sooner? It's been 2 months.
I don't know who to call. Let me give Crown one more try, Carol,
Okay.
because I just don't feel confident in the kid I talked to. So
Okay.
I'm just too busy.
Well, you could probably get that guy that Rob uses. Brian.
Oh, from Sycamore?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be back in town.
Brian
You
is.
know what? Yeah, Rob's had good disasters. out
Might
there.
have him stop and look at it.
Okay.
Tell him I asked for it. So I know he knows me.
What's his name? Do you know?
Brian. Can't think of his last name. Heck, that guy down there on the county line, what? They got arrested for.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He was a serviceman.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't know his name. I don't know what his name is. So.
Mike Stanfield.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Justin did their law.
I watched I went in.
Okay, any other old business? I don't hear any, so we'll go to new business.
Hey, I will report that the Strawberry Festival was a fantastic success.
Huge.
Huge success. We had 106 cars at the car show.
Yeah.
We did. Yes, Roger and
How
Mike
far did
judged
they
them
go
all.
down the street?
They were all the way on the left side. They were all the way to the bridge.
Yep.
And then they
The
were
left side. You mean the west side?
The west side.
Okay.
Then they were at the funeral home all the way back this way.
Yeah, I asked
That is a
Gooch's.
large show.
Yes. I
said
did
the
ask
guy
Gooch's prior to.
The guy that went to Clinton the night before, he said, didn't compare to this one.
Rockville. You mean
Or the
Rockville?
Rockville guy. didn't
Yeah,
compare to
Rockville
this
only
one.
had like
It was huge.
85 cars.
Well, how about that?
Yeah, they raised their prices.
They did, and I actually talked to a car guy, and he said that he didn't go because he wasn't paying $20.
I thought it was 25 or
25 at Rockville.
Apparently
25
there's
at
quite a few
Rockville.
people that boycotted on the
Yeah.
price increase.
They felt
Well,
like
that
it was.
106
But sometimes
was
you
the
can
ones
sneak that by, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then other times it don't sneak by.
The
Yeah.
106 were the ones that registered.
Right.
There was another 8 to 12 or so
Mhm.
that weren't registered that were sent down through there that showed up late or whatever,
Yeah.
or just didn't register.
Just didn't come down and register, right? So
Did
Did
you,
they
you guys
give out-
had yours on Sunday though, right?
yes,
Yeah.
Did they give out prizes?
they did.
Yes, they did.
They did.
No.
Just different prizes for different categories. She's actually making a calendar of the cars that won the prizes.
Cool.
So it's kind of a cool thing that she offered. The girl that did it, her name's Patricia. She's from North Terre Haute, but she used to help out with the Corey Apple Festival, and she's friends with Sarah, and she was awesome. She did the car show was all her. She
That's
did
a
great.
good idea.
Mhm.
I guess
Yeah.
Brazil had a car show too. I don't know if that was Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I think I knew that. I think they did, John. I don't remember where they. But yeah, but the car show was a huge success. All the bands were great. I think the fire department did well with their activities.
I thought it was the weather cooperated.
Yes, weather was
Great.
perfection.
Was having it 2 days better than having one?
For us, yes, but I think Friday, two things were the main factors. One, the weather, you couldn't ask for better weather. And two, that band has a big following.
They do have a following.
Right.
Yes.
Saturday, we were down from what we did last year on Saturday. But there were some families that were out of town that would have normally been there. Cornhole tournament, we had 4 or 5 fewer teams. As far as sales went, we were down a little bit, maybe 15% from what we were last year. But Friday was all bonus because we didn't do Friday last year.
Well, the band was a big part of that.
Yeah, I was standing up there, I don't know, 9:30, I went up by the firehouse, and I looked through the front of the firehouse, and I looked downtown through where the band was, and there had to be 600-700 people in town right there.
Well, and
There was a boatload of people in town.
the things that I heard a lot was everyone really liked where we put the stage. They really liked that you could enjoy the music over there, and you could kind of enjoy it everywhere, and it wasn't stuck back in that parking lot.
Right.
That was a big deal, and people really liked the tent that we put in the parking lot for food to be able to sit and eat at. Even I think those tents get hot underneath, but at least it's some shade.
Yeah.
So
It's much better sitting on.
yeah. So that's some positives. Exhausting weekend, but good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looked a
The
little.
foam machine was a big hit too.
Oh yeah, the foam party was a
Yeah.
huge
Yeah,
hit.
that was great.
Yes, huge hit with the foam party.
The pictures were awesome.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
who took those, but it was very.
Yeah, Patricia took a lot of those to go into the car show. She was the picture taking mania. So, but all the events were good. Everyone did awesome.
Sunday, I drove through and I was like, there are more people in this town than I think I've ever seen. Downtown.
Well,
I was
you know what?
Shocked.
Before you were born, it was a lot bigger deal. Way back when, right?
I called Mom and
They
I
had
was like,
a semi-carnival
I don't
and
remember,
everything. But
like-
we had strawberries that were grown
right up the
right
hill.
around town.
Where did we get the strawberries? Did we get a little from Ditzler's or no?
No.
They're all
No,
from-
it
They
wasn't.
were all packaged.
Yeah.
No, I talked to Ditzler's about selling strawberries down here, and she would love to come down and sell strawberries, but they don't have the manpower to pick the strawberries.
Oh.
They have to have, she said, like 150 plus quarts in the shop every day to sell. She said, so they have to hand pick those. She said if we wanted to come up and pick and bring them down and sell them, she would make me a deal. Because she said they're just going to be a really strong crop this year. It's going to be like fantastic. Everyone's been picking a ton, but no way did we have the manpower to go and pick. But
I didn't
we
like
did
picking
talk
when
to
I
her.
was a kid. I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, so.
I like to eat them, but I don't like to pick
I
them.
don't eat
Yeah.
them. I ain't like you when I pick them.
Any other old business? I guess that still was. All right, let's go to new business. Under new business, you want to explain about the utility receipts tax
Okay.
deal?
So, the state of Indiana has repealed the utility receipt tax. That utility receipt tax is figured into our water rates, and the town of Rosedale in 2021, my utility receipt tax was about $2,075. We took in about $140,000 in water money. The simple math on it was that it amounted to 1.4% of our rate, and so the state said that even if you are not under the IURC jurisdiction, because we're not a member of them, you have to take this rate out of your water rate, and you have to do this for your community. Okay, so I talked to Scott about it, and we went back and forth, and so he's redone our rates. So we have two options on the table today, and he threw one of these at me today. So a lot of towns are having to hire rate consultants and things like that.
Did everyone
Well,
see this down
for
through
$2,000 worth of utility receipt tax money, you can't hire a rate consultant. They're just really expensive. Steve Brock has contacted me twice. He's the one that did our wastewater rates years ago.
I don't think he raped us.
Yeah, he's very, very expensive. Like small towns like ours, we haven't really known what to do. So it would save. Where's that one at? Do you have that ordinance?
Yeah, it's right here.
But where's the other one at? There's two of them.
Right
Oh.
there.
So our base rate for water right now is $27.29. That's our minimum. It would reduce our rate to $26.91, saving all rate-paying customers 38 cents per month. Okay? So what they want us to do is they want us to do this, or you can hire a rate consultant, blah, blah, blah. There's like all these different things. So we have an ordinance to make this change, and then this will have to go to Keystone, and they'll have to key it in, and Keystone's got some other stuff going on. Or he threw this other option on us today that some other towns are doing. Do you want me to read this?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This
Probably a
is
better reader than I am. Anyway.
concerning the repeal of the utility receipt tax. Whereas the Indiana General
Sure you don't want
Assembly
me to read it?
passed and the governor signed House Enrolled Act 1002-2022, repealing IC, imposing a utility receipt tax, and requiring the town to adjust the utilities rates and charges to reflect the repeal. Basically, this is saying the town has not conducted a rate study, whereas if we do conduct a rate study, it's probably going to say our rates are too low and we're going to have to raise them. So we will not be taking any action on this repeal. We will just be leaving our rates as is. So it's really up to you guys what
Well,
you
that's a
want
pretty
to
good
do.
synopsis you
I
did.
did.
There.
I did a synopsis without reading all the legalese. It's been a tremendous amount of back and forth. Everyone's had multiple opinions on it. There were some opinions today that you didn't. So the IURC wants you to send all of your customers a letter saying that you're saving them this money, but you have to put a 58-cent stamp on it to send it, and you have to tell them for 2 months, and you have to detail out exactly how much they're saving and all of this stuff. So at the end of the day, who's saving any money? And so if we hired a rate consultant, that's what's going to happen, is they're going to say our rates are too low, probably. That's what other towns are finding out. So, which is where I think this came in. This is the first I've heard of this. He did actually say that. I asked him what Montezuma was going to do, and because this came from Montezuma's rate consultant that they hired, and he said that Montezuma hasn't made a decision yet, but they're doing a big water tower project right now, and they're probably going to have to go up. So to reduce by 1 now to go up in the fall, it probably doesn't make sense.
Plus all that expense in between time.
Right.
Of the different rate studies and so forth.
I mean, what was the reasoning for this
repeal?
For the state to look good.
That would make my guess, Cody.
Exactly. So the next administration.
But the real result was just putting every community through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I talked to Brandy Asher today in Rockville too,
Well,
and I asked her what
each
she
community
was doing.
has their own water system.
Right.
Yeah, but it's all utilities. It's electric. It's all utilities. So I talked to Brandy Asher in Rockville today, and she said she had sent her stuff to Nick, and she wasn't sure what they were doing.
So this
either.
is only really
So,
helping big business that have big water bills and a big electric bills.
I mean, it's really not helping anybody except for the state
I mean-
look like they're trying to save
It's
people
only
money, but
helping
it's
the
40
state
cents a
look
month.
it is
Nobody's noticing 40 cents a
100%,
month.
Becky. This is about how they and like when John and I were talking about this on the phone the other day, he said they never should have put that tax in anyway. And then I said, well, what did they even use that tax money for?
Right.
Well, I
That's a
don't
good
even know what the
question.
state's done with that money over the years. So
And who's to say the next administration won't put it back in there? So
I don't know, but that's where we're at. So we have these two options, and we do need to make a decision. If we decide we are going to lower our rate, it will take us 2 meetings to pass this. This is just
This
a
is a resolution we can pass tonight.
I
Yeah.
say we pass
I
the
agree.
resolution.
So you guys
tonight,
can.
'cause
I have to
that's-
fill in the blanks a little bit on that, but yeah.
Okay, there's a motion by Cody. Seconded by whom?
Becky,
To pass, I don't know what resolution number it is.
to be determined.
To be determined. It's 2022 something,
-3.
-3. A resolution.
No, 4. I'm sorry, it's 4.
Concerning utility tax. So moved and seconded to pass resolution number 2022-4 concerning the repeal of utility tax receipt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We all have to sign. You got any other stuff over there? Or is it going to be under your report? Or?
No, I will. I don't really have any business. I guess I can just report on this. Oh, the stormwater project. Everyone does know that we're pushing back to the second round of grant funding, so we won't. So we could slow down a little bit and figure out our easements and our properties and stuff like that on that, and that'll go in the second round of grant funding. Because we also need to pass the ordinances and things like that, and that was really pushing us for time. And Scott's been knee-deep in this URT thing, so I believe he's going to try to make a trip to our July meeting to kind of touch on some of the property issues. I am on vacation during the July meeting, so I will not be here.
Okay.
Can we just let Scott run the meeting then?
Yeah.
He can just walk us through everything.
Make that happen, that's fine.
Any other new business? Any other new business? Okay. How about department reports? You didn't give me a water report.
I did not give you a water report.
You must have been awful damn busy here.
I have been extremely busy lately. But, actually, we had like 98 penalties.
98 notices?
98 people did not pay their bill on time. It was a really weird month for payments. We tagged one house, and they have paid their bill.
Okay.
No shut-offs?
No shut-offs.
That's good.
On the wastewater end, Rob is plagued with issues at wastewater right now. The 250 amp breaker blew on Friday night.
You get hit with lightning?
That
Again?
runs the plant. He's not really sure. He had to call Sycamore in, and they had to bypass the breaker because it's some kind of a specialized breaker that they're now searching for. Because why wouldn't it be?
Well, it's probably not one that's just going to be sitting on the shelf.
Right, right. So, so he's had that going on. That was Friday night. He's actually on vacation in Florida this week, so he has another operator coming in the evenings. So Jace is checking in the mornings to make sure everything's running and staying on track till Sycamore gets back to him. They have started to install the mission system out there, which is like the communication system. Pieces and parts of it have been coming in. The insurance work is almost complete, and they have paid out like $11,000 last month, and there was another $3,600 in that insurance claim on the lightning strike. And so she is sending that out today, and then that will have that whole claim paid in full. And I think Rob and I can both agree we have never met an insurance agent who wanted to pay us out any faster than this lady. Because she's like, I want to pay you, I want to pay you. Let's get this handled, let's get this handled. So that's done.
They haven't made any suggestion that we get some kind of huge lightning arrestor for out there or anything?
Nope.
That's just what I was going to ask.
Nothing has been said about that all whatsoever. So, but that's all that's going on with wastewater that I know of. And then Gary, I talked to him yesterday on water. The consumer confidence report will go out this month. He has that all ready to go. I just have to get it plugged into our form. So Andrea and I will send those out at the end of the month. So, but he seems to be doing pretty good.
Is that problem out in front of the Civic Center where it hooks
Okay.
on? Is it solved?
That's wastewater, you're right. All right, let's talk about that. So the Civic Center was having trouble. They called in. Jeremy Dunkley is the one that actually dug, and they said that we had water in our manholes. I don't believe that their problem was our problem because their inlay going into our pipe, there was a crack and their pipe was going down like this. So that was repaired, but that did lead to us discovering us having a sewer problem out there. So Jace had Barrett come and camera all that. They tried to jet it, and when they jetted it, right around South Street, my street, right around South Street where it goes under the road, the jet stopped, and he felt, the guy that was running the jet felt like there was either a break or a crack. So they brought the camera back in, and they don't think the line is broken, but they think it's dipping down, and it's all pooling there. And that's underneath the road. So, no idea how to fix, what that requires or anything. That's not something I can answer. But then, they did camera all the way through the subdivision, and there's a few images on my phone of the blockages of tree roots, and these are like, they could not jet them out. These are like, it's making its way through there, but it's definitely going to eventually cause problems. But this is going to have to probably be a dig up and repair.
Can't do Roto-Rooter?
What'd you say?
Can't do Roto-Rooter?
No, he didn't act like that was an option. But I don't know. Sewer's really not my area. I'm just the
Is
messenger
that
on
close
this.
to my house?
I don't know if it's close to your house or not, but
There's not that many trees there. It's probably on the other side.
yeah.
Well, we've gotten it out of the other side at least twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it jetted out.
Huge root ball in there. So, but I don't have any real issue. I don't know about Main Street, and I don't know about that particularly. If there's something you want me to find out, I can.
Well, if we're planning on doing something with Main Street, we have to have that fixed first.
Yes.
Right.
That's true.
Let's not be like the City of Terre Haute, pave a new
Okay.
road and
Let's
come in and dig everything up.
How about I call Brad
They
Barrett?
do that all the time down here. They don't coordinate with the utility companies at all.
I will I'll call Brad Barrett or I'll have Jace call Brad Barrett and see what he recommends on Main Street.
So it's definitely under Main Street, not South Street.
Yes, it's at that intersection, kind of in front of Lewis Murphy's house. Like it crosses over the road there.
The manhole there in front of that house you used to own?
I still own the one on the corner.
No, next to it. Is there a manhole in the ditch there? Along with the manhole on down in the ditch?
Mm-hmm.
So it's between there and the next manhole to the
I
north.
see that sewer map. Main Street. So there's a manhole there. There's a manhole there. Yeah. But that line's running, it looks like it's running on that side of the road. Yeah. But yeah, that's where it would be in between, I think. Well, you can see where it jogs across the road right there. And that diagonal at South Street. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's manholes on either
Right,
side of
on
that
either
jog.
corner, so it must be in between there. It can't even be going straight. It's got to be going diagonal.
Well, then it goes diagonal across the street again, looks like.
Yeah, that's what Jake said. He's like, it goes like back and forth. He said it's weird.
Before it gets to the lift station.
So, yeah.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful.
we'll get with Brad Barrett and see what he says. He's the one that did all of the work, and his bills were on there. I don't think he even charged us. He was good. So that's my water sewer report.
Good, street report. They've been filling manholes. Potholes.
They did patching. He and Mike did several tons of patching.
I'm not real sure that I like the milling being used on the alley when it leaves chunks like that big.
Well, yeah, give me a second to bring that back up. So, Jace graded the alleys out. He borrowed Justin's tractor because of the thing Justin has on the back of his tractor is like the almost exact width of the alley. And he went up and down these alleys back here just a couple swipes, and it was such a vastly improved difference. Then he tried to move some millings, and the chunks in the millings from it sitting over there for so long, he thinks that we shouldn't be using them either.
Well, and
Well,
if
I
they
thought
do, they need to go back through and pick up the chunks.
Yeah.
The alley was better until he went and regraded it. Cause
This time?
it had all packed. It had packed down pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a little
But
bit.
now there's big chunks.
Now there's big chunks.
Okay,
I
well,
don't know what the name of that
alleys,
alley is, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
so all of these alleys down here that he did are like way better. The one behind your house is way better. Yeah, but the big chunks aren't coming up. But he wants to know if we can get rid of these millings. If we can just say free millings. He said he would even load. He says because they're not even worth digging and spreading at this point. So,
Well, if he's sure that he's used all he's going to use, I mean,
Is anybody else going to want them? They're big old chunks.
He did haul out a bunch of millings out to 350, right back where you go to Chris Newman's house and things like that. Because when you read meters back there, the potholes will like swallow the truck. It is the worst road in the world, and they said they would find a tractor to spread them, so he took them a bunch.
Oh, okay.
But so I don't know. You guys will just tell me what to tell him. So
Well, I don't know how much is left over there.
a lot. It's just nasty weed pile over there too.
Mm-hmm.
But he did work on patching. He graded the alleys. Obviously, he's been mowing. He hung the flags, hung the banners.
Clean some ditches.
He did the ditches on Main Street. He'd like to move around the corner and work on Vine Street a little bit. I don't know if right now is the perfect weather for that. It's pretty miserable out.
Okay, Park Department?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Did you look at those catalogs?
I've not got any catalogs, no.
Okay. I have a catalog over there for you. Don't leave it without it.
Okay.
Fire Department?
Okay, they had one trash fire. I could have called them to another one today. 6 med runs. They had a run where they had some people in the water, but...
Out by the creek, we didn't have to do nothing.
Pardon?
It was out by the creek, out by the double bridges, but they were out by the time we got there.
Yeah. And a motorcycle. So they had a total of 9 runs.
Okay, cemetery?
No cemetery. We didn't do anything last month.
Okay.
Police report?
We got called out right when I was getting back from town, so I didn't get to the office and get everything, but we went to firearms training last month, went up to the range. I think you got all your stuff now. Mike's good to go with the academy, all his stuff's turned in, he's got his certs, so he's back to full status. I think the only thing we've got left to do is get him in a taser class, which I'm trying to get a hold of Bill McMichael. So we're doing pretty good.
So did you finally did they finally get their computer where they could get you a readout?
Darla is still not sending me anything.
Is that because she don't want to, or she don't know how, or what?
Good question. She just tells me it's a problem that I think the name of the company's Cushing. They're the ones that take care of the CAD system.
So nobody's getting any kind of reports.
So they don't know what you're doing either?
Rockville doesn't
They
give.
they create or they keep track of their own. Dispatch doesn't produce it for them.
Which we've started kind of doing that, but we're still working on that as a group to do a little better at that.
So they're paying for something they're not able to use.
Well, the CAD system still works as far as when we log in, they can send us calls. And send
But
us
there's no way to
information.
record it, so she can send it back.
But I'm not sure why she can't print out the reports and send them to us every month.
Okay. Do we have any property reports? Want to talk about? Somebody's cleaning up one next door to me.
Yeah, there in my area, there's been 2 yards that had been mowed for a while, and they looked a lot better.
There's a couple down by me, but there's one across from the park. And
I did have talk with Gretchen about her place. That was a trash fire because I called the fire department over there to put the fire out.
oh, okay.
She was burning a bunch of trash one day, and she wasn't there, and it was the day it was super foggy that one morning. You couldn't even see the smoke, but I drove by there and I could smell it.
It's been advised that no one's actually living there right now.
At Gretchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
She's in and out. I don't know where she's
Yeah.
staying there or not, but she's been in and out of there. Are the dogs still there? 'Cause I've been.
Well, they were out one night. 3 of them in the middle of the road. That's quite concerning when you see 3 big dogs like that.
It would really be concerning when they have Louisville next week.
Pass that back down.
So they just need to make sure that pen's good.
The house from across from the park, Dabrowski's house is a train wreck. It's awful, and we just don't have a good phone number for him. The phone number that I have just rings and rings, and Roger tried to come up with one too, and the mail goes to there, so no one's going to get it. So we'll keep trying on that one.
Was she down here?
Was she here?
He said Crystal was down here during the Strawberry Festival.
She was. I know. And I didn't get over to tell one of you guys to go talk to her.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen her.
You know, yes, she was. And I was going like crazy.
But, yeah, even, I mean, I try up at the jail to get a good phone number for her.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what did we say, that was her mom's phone number?
That was her mom's, and it just rings and rings. And I'm sure they don't want to answer Town of Rosedale, so.
Well, I answer all the time numbers I don't know, so I can yell at them and tell them to quit calling me because I'm on the no-call list, but that don't do a damn bit of good.
I answer them just so they don't leave me a voicemail.
And I'm sure that the state attorney general's office has started people calling complaining about it.
Didn't she do some property evaluation for us?
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yeah, we're ready for you.
Okay. So my clerk treasurer's report, obviously I did not go to clerk treasurer's school. I just feel like I've been too busy. It's just been a lot going on, which is fine. We're coming into budget season. If anybody has any thoughts on their departments that you want to adjust, I meet with the budget consultant at the end of July. It'll be a web meeting. So I know I won't be here for the July meeting, but I can give you guys some preliminary budget numbers. I'll make some adjustments for some things we need to adjust, like we're spending a little more on insurance and stuff like that. But I did take the time to go to the commissioners meeting after we talked about it at the last meeting to ask them about our bridge issues down here and to present them with a bunch of pictures and things like that. So I participated in public comment, I guess, and they said that I expressed that I felt like Mark Davis had represented that they were planning on doing that bridge this year, and they said that the council had not put that in the budget for this year. They were trying to put it in the budget for next year. However, they were unsure if that was really going to happen. He did say, I did ask him if the bridge was inspected, and they did tell me that it's really not a bridge. It's really a box culvert. So we went back and forth on that because I said we drive cars over it, our school buses go over it. It's clearly not in good shape if you look at these photos. So I did present them with photos that I had printed out that Jace took because he even climbed underneath it. So I talked to Randy Norman outside the meeting too, and Randy said, well, we don't necessarily regularly inspect it, but we have inspected it in the past. So I kind of left with the runaround, but I left with a maybe we're going to talk about it, and it'll be up to the council if they put it in. So I'm going to try to catch a council meeting. John just told me they just had one, so I'll try to catch the next one they have because they'll be getting into budget time too.
I was going to say, didn't Mark say that they'd be doing the budget real?
Yeah, that's
okay.
I said that they'd
Yeah,
be doing the
you
budget
said it.
really soon.
By July, they have to have
But
it.
I asked them how they had numbers on the bridge if they weren't considering replacing it, and but Mark was the one that gave them those numbers. So there was kind of some back and forth there. So I don't know if it's a bridge, I don't know if it's a box culvert, I don't know what we're getting, but I will continue to make my mark within those meetings as much as I can. But on what you're talking about, Carol, is I participated in a housing study with Cindy Todd at Partnership Park County. They've been trying to determine with Purdue Extension and some things, the housing needs of the county, trying to decide what people need. Do we need multifamily units? Do we need just more new houses? Do we need subdivisions? What do we need? So as part of that housing study, because I attended a meeting with the USDA and some other things like that, they wanted us to survey our vacant houses in town. So Andrea and we knew a lot of houses that didn't have utilities hooked up already, and then we did some driving. And we've determined in town that there are 28 vacant houses. And some of those houses are owned, and some of them actually have utilities on, but no one actually lives there. No one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did determine some of that, and I sent that over to Cindy to be added to their information. Andrea and I have also been working on meter deposits. After Amanda quit several years ago, I took over the water, and I would refund tenants that were current, but we are holding a lot of meter deposit money from several years ago. So Andrea's been going through crisscrossing with records and making sure and this and that. So we're taking this alphabetically, but we are trying to get that money back to people. There are going to be people on this list that are deceased. I mean, we're holding some $5 deposits, and I don't know when the deposit was $5.
Maybe when it first went in, maybe.
But yeah, but this has been a good project for her. It's just something that I never really had time for. She's also going to do a records update. We're going to start with the Facebook message asking people, hey, give us a call. We don't have good phone numbers on file, you know, and then if we don't get a good response from that, then we'll do a mailer to everybody. So she's kind of picking up some of the stuff it's a good project, but I just haven't really had time for it. So that's what's been going on in my office. Crazy, crazy.
At the conclusion of her report, we'll go back to the public comments.
Sprinkle up in that.
Yeah. How'd you know? Nikki?
Yep.
Kevin? Michael? No. Chair, accept the motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll second.
JMCG CM. It's been regularly moved and seconded to pay the bills as presented. Is there anything under question? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion just read, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Everybody signed the bills.
Yes.
I move we adjourn.
I didn't even have to ask for it. How about that?
I'll second it.
Go ahead and move and second to adjourn. Is there anything under question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.